Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Sit Down. We have an amazing guest tonight. We have Mr. JM with at Trying Casually Games. All of his stuff in the description below in a link tree. Please sure to click that. Please like and follow and hit all the buttons for him like you would for anybody else. JM, I'm so excited to have you here, man. How are you? How are you doing tonight?
Oh, dude, I am so excited to be here. And I think I'm more excited than you guys. Dude, you guys are some of my favorite people. I love
Oh,
supporting local. You know what I mean? I'll say that anytime, man. Girl Pod, Southern Sorcery. You know what I mean? I'm always repping people. Not Nerds and Nachos in North Carolina. If there's like a Southern creator, man, I'm shouting them out because like there's not a lot of
Awesome.
us, and we gotta stick together.
yep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
I agree. That's awesome, man. Well, we have 10 questions that we're going to run through so you guys can learn a little bit more about JM and his journey into this awesome cardboard game. So I'm just going to dive into the first one. This one's one of my favorite to ask really anybody, but I love asking some content creators this too. But, what got you into Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, I actually started in 2018. I believe that was core set 19. But my friends at my old job, I was a laser programmer designer making weightlifting equipment.
Mm,
Oh,
So they
wow.
would play after work at bars and at their house. So basically, like
Nice.
as a way to hang out and interact with everybody, because I don't really drink a lot. So I started to play Magic the Gathering. So I started with like a 60 card formats. I made like Is It, and I made like
Mhm.
just ramp decks, little green decks, stuff like that. Um, and then my first commander deck was actually Multani. The Multani that you could
Ooh.
bounce lands and bring her back from the graveyard. Because originally I thought that like Multani was going to be like a target and going to be killed. So like in my idea, commander at the time was like heavy removal. I think that deck actually would have been better for this meta, like now, with
mm,
as much
Yeah.
removal as there is now.
hmm
Um,
Oh, so
so that
much.
you could just get past your commander attacks. But yeah,
Yeah.
that deck has obviously like elevated and like evolved over time. But after that, I
Yeah.
made Is It, and that was Niv Mizzet Perun. So
mm,
my play deck or my play group was basically
Ooh.
like in an arms race,
hmm
and I
Yeah.
basically hit the ground running. So basically, I
Yeah.
was like, I went from like playing green spells to like Is It combo within like the course of a couple months.
Oh God.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's basically it. And then like my very first game of Commander, shout out to like Frosty and Joseph and all that play group. They will forever be like my first. But yeah, Muldrotha was my literal first Commander deck ever, and it was my first win. And he was like, "Here, play Commander. You know how to play Magic, so just do these things."
Yeah. Well, drop that's a graveyard deck. Yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like a really good one too. It was like the perfect like entry game of Commander that I could absolutely ask for.
Perfect. Yeah. It's funny. That's how I got Daniel into Magic as well. I sat down and just handed him my mono green elf deck, which
Hmm.
elf wants to ramp quick and then just like stomp, and then that was like he was like, I like this. I think I can get into this. So
It took a
it's
game.
always fun.
Yeah,
Like
it
when
took a game. We played the first game I ever
yeah
played was like a 6 player game of like Commander at a cabin, and everyone was drinking, and so it was like a not a great experience. But then,
I can understand
yeah,
that.
but then a
Yeah.
couple, I was like, we just took 3 hours for me to do nothing. Cool, that was the dumbest thing I've ever been a part of. And then we played again a few months later, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it another chance. And then I was like, okay, we played 2 games that time, and I was like, okay, that seems fun. Like that was different
yeah
than what the other thing was. Yeah.
That's
for
fair. Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 6 player plot is very like a season
Oh
thing
man.
because like when those are fun, they are the most fun.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, but they can also be an absolute like
It was just a
like a
slog.
draw
Yeah, it
of
was
a
just
game.
yeah, it was
Yeah, a
just a
Yeah,
slog.
yeah.
slog.
Yeah. So the next question, aside from Commander, are there any other formats that you like to play now, or are you just exclusively playing Commander?
So I do pre-release every now and then. But I really have been getting into Pauper Commander
Mm,
and CDH a
Yeah.
little bit. So I just made
Okay.
a Tivit CDH deck based on shout out to the guy who did our logo, Gold Sabertooth.
nice.
Amazing person, amazing CDH player. But yeah,
Awesome.
so I took his deck list and changed it up just like a hair. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and just I'm running basically his deck list.
Nice.
The next one I
Nice.
wanted to run is Flubs though.
Oh, the new
Clubs
one.
the
Yeah,
Fool.
yeah. I've seen where that's
Yeah, so
supposedly a
Glade
CEDH
or
viable.
Godzilla Big is running it in CDH and has the most fun because he doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah, it seems really fun and chaotic. I did get one because I got the buy a box promo at my LGS, and I was like,
Same.
I could build this for CEDH, and that way I'd have it. Like I could, participate in the format. So
100%, and you don't know what you're doing anyways. Like, I mean,
yeah,
I'm not saying like speaking like you, but like I
no,
don't know what I'm doing anyways.
100%.
So like,
No cards
I
in
feel
hand,
like that
no
fits
problem.
the theme. Yeah, no thoughts, just fools.
Yeah,
just let chaos reign. Yeah,
no big deal. It'd be fine.
fantastic.
But yeah, I feel like especially with Octavia, my co-host, the natural progression is CDH because she was a judge and like a tournament grinder, and
Okay.
just
So
a very
very competitive.
can be a competitive person in general.
Gotcha.
Awesome. I like CDH. I don't play it as much as I used to. I feel like we all go through like cycles. I was watching Play to Win, one of their podcasts, and they were talking about like how they went from like playing super like competitive, and then they're like got kind of tired of it, so they went back to like just like stompy creatures. I don't want to play any combos. Now it's like now I'm back to like you kind of wear that out, and you're like I want to run some combos, and I want to run like specific lines in a deck. So I feel like you play Magic long enough, you definitely go through that cycle of like how you want to play the game, but CDH is a lot of fun. It's fun to watch too. I learned so much from the game by watching like really good CDH players and like how they play their lines and like how they set up like ideal hands and like what they're trying to see in an opening hand. Like all that to me is like sometimes I'm like, oh cool, I've got mana rocks, I've got a tutor, but I'm not like I'm just thinking of like that. They're already like thinking like, okay, I can do this, I can tutor for that, and by turn 4 I've got this. I'm like, nah, that's not my mind space at all.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
more
got to
of
get
it's
better
more of a
at that.
chess game than like and watching it is inevitably a little more fascinating. Especially like I watched the game they just released where Reversal was on for CEDH, and they played 2 games,
saw
and
that.
the second one was like a turn 2 win. And that was interesting to watch unfold. So it is definitely more like the entertainment value is from the gameplay and not necessarily like not that there's no entertainment in the gameplay of casual, but it's more about the personalities I feel like at the table and like the vibe of the game for watching casual EDH, whereas when you're watching CEDH it is much more focused on like the game itself, and then like the personalities are just a bonus.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Moving on to our next question. Do you have a favorite mana color?
So I think it would either be blue or green.
Okay. Yeah.
Both good choices.
Yeah. Do you like? Yeah. Do you like both? Like you.
So speaking of
Simic.
that, I literally just rebuilt a Simic deck because
Nice.
I did Nerds and Nachos. Shout out to them again. They are doing a thing where you basically choosing your signature decks of certain colors and then getting to talk about that deck. And my
Ooh,
signature
I like
Simic deck was Kodama and Thrasios.
Mm.
It was
Oh,
like
that's a
the
good one.
most uncompetitive casual deck or the most competitive casual deck that I've ever built. So it was like in that weird limbo area where it was like too strong for a casual meta and like just not strong enough for CDH. It didn't know what the fuck it was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I broke apart that deck because it was too strong. I tried to make it Volo to make it less strong, but that obviously does not make it less strong.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You could Volo almost is just as soon as it hits the field, it could be like, oh man, here we go. Like.
Oh yeah, and a lot of it, to
Yeah.
be fair, was just straight pieces from that deck because like a lot of those creatures didn't share creature types. But yeah, so now I'm trying it as Adric and Nev, and I'm basically just doing token doubling goodness.
Yeah.
I mean,
I,
they're
lo- I
good
love a
I like
colors.
token
that.
deck
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, everything I build is a token
Yeah.
deck.
Yeah, I think of
There's so
any
many.
2
Yeah.
color combos, Simic is like the best one of any like 2 together. I think Simic's the best one.
Oh yeah, it draws
Yeah.
cards, big creatures, counter spells,
Yeah, card draw,
protection.
man, shoo. Yeah, they're
Super complimentary, like out of the
very
gate.
much
Like,
so.
yeah, most Simic decks just like that. I'm a Simic guy too. I like Simic too.
Yeah, I'm a Merfolk man.
My Edric deck, my extra turns. That's Simic, and
Yep.
like it's just near and dear to my heart. So, um, this is a fun question I like to ask everybody. If you could own any card in the game, regardless of cost, what would that card be?
Yeah, it'd be a Gaia's Cradle. I know this one straight up.
Okay.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
Simic man, I could see that.
Yeah, and I'll take a
Sure.
gold border too, bud. I don't even care.
Shane's
Yeah.
got one.
So I had the opportunity to buy one when I first got into Magic. I was like probably like 6 months in, and one of the owners of the card store said, "Hey, we're getting rid of some cards. We have this gold border Gaia's Cradle. Maybe you should look at. It's a good investment. I can give it to you for $60."
Oh, that's a good deal.
Oh yeah. A great
And I was
deal.
like, I'd be like, well, so I don't know if I could spend that much money. I'd have to talk to my wife. It
Right.
would be the most money I've ever spent on a Magic card.
Yeah.
Because like at the time, $10 and $15
Oh, yeah.
was like the most I'd ever spent on a Magic card.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
$60 just sounded
I was
like
very much like that same exact
astrological.
way. I was like,
Matt.
I will absolutely go to
Madness, right?
Office Depot and print that. I will never buy a $10 card. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
a year later,
and now I'm
and thousands of
100%.
dollars.
Now I'm addicted.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's at a certain point. It's not about like the cards. It's about the chase. It's like,
Yeah, absolutely. So like, and then I kick myself in the ass every single day about that. Like that's my one regret in Magic. Like everybody has that like
Yeah.
missed opportunity. That would be mine.
Yeah. Cradle is one of my favorite cards too. I love the art. I love Urza's Saga. That block, like that whole like Sarah Sanctum, Tolarian Academy, like that. Those 3 lands were like
They're
my
all
holy grail, and
absolutely
I have all. Yeah, and I have all 3 of them now. Like I started with Cradle. I bought a Cradle. This, it's funny you say that. I bought a legit Cradle. It was probably, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years ago now, and I spent like right at like 250 for it.
Yeah,
And
like
at
a
the time, I was
ridiculously
like,
cheap amount.
yeah.
well, 250.
But I mean, at the time, I was like, I was sick to my stomach. I had like buyer's remorse. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can't believe it's just a card.
And,
Like
and
now,
like
they're worth like,
and not to be like weird flex or coincidence, but like literally like I just picked up
There you
this fucking
go.
actual
There
scrubland
you go.
at the LGS
man,
for $120.
That's a great deal.
that's a great,
You know what I
that's a
mean?
great deal.
So like this
Yeah.
isn't even worth the Gaia's Cradle, and I wouldn't even spend 60. It's just like that is nuts. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
a different perspective of time and like
Are the gold
Yeah.
borders more than that? I feel like they're like $100. They may have gone up. I haven't looked at the gold
hold on.
borders.
Yeah, we need a real time do this.
Yeah,
I
it depends
bought
on
I
the
bought
shape
a
of
I
them,
bought a
too.
real one as well. One of our judge friends, Sam, had a buddy that he found his old binder in his parents' attic or something like that, and was like, "Oh, here, Sam, just get what you can get for these." And I was like, "How much do you want for that cradle?" And he's like, "I think Card Kingdom will buy it for $500." And I was like, "I'll give him $500, no problem."
So you can
Dude,
get
that thing was,
a gold border for $260.
Oh snap! I didn't
Wow.
realize they were that much. I thought they were like $100.
yeah.
Negative.
They've always been kind of. I have a gold border one as well, but mine's very ratty. Like it's well loved.
You want to sell that?
Maybe I could probably come off of it. Like yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
you
real
got a
talk.
real-
I would trade
got a
the
real one.
shit out of that for you.
You got a real one, so
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
got-
need the gold border one anymore.
Yeah, I do have a
Yo,
real one.
the
Yeah.
gold borders are real. Okay, all borders
They are
are
real,
real
yeah,
borders.
I mean, agreed. It is
I
100% a Magic product. So
I love the way gold border cards.
Oh,
look.
I
dude,
do too.
love
They're
it.
so cool.
if I can get a gold border, I'm getting one. Like, so
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to buy a reserve list gold border Hall of Gemstone.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's not a very expensive card, but it's basically like
yeah.
3 and a green or something like that, and you can choose a color, and
Yeah.
everybody's basically has to choose a color, and all of their lands only tap for that color.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah,
It's really good in a
Yep.
green deck. That's what I use it for.
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I my buddies, they give me a hard. Like I run a gold border Llanowar Elf. Like just the most mundane like cards. I'm like, give me the
Yep.
gold border. I'll run gold border basics.
I
Like,
bought a
I'm
gold
fine
border
with it.
because
Like,
it was more expensive and pretty.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it. I think they're gorgeous. Yeah, the card stock is the same, so they feel great in a sleeve. Like
Yeah.
everything's legit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
they
love
just get a
the way they look.
better border. I'm sorry that you don't like gold.
Yeah, right. That was question 4. So question number 5. What got you specifically into content creation?
So to be fair, I just wanted to really meet new people and play with people I've never played with. I never thought of myself as a content creator, and I still kind of don't think of myself as a content creator. I view myself as more of a streamer. I'll say that like actively.
Sure.
I just wanted to play with really cool people. I've played with some of the coolest people I've ever met. I've met some of my best friends, like you included. You guys are some of the coolest people I have ever talked to.
Thanks.
Some of
Thanks,
my
man.
best friends in the
That's so sweet.
content creation. Well, like it's hard to talk to genuine people sometimes. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And
Yeah,
like,
sure. I mean, everybody has an agenda. I mean, but you know, like when we similarly when we got into it, it was more about like not that any of us are famous or have aspirations to be, but more just like we wanted to just be in and around the game.
yeah, and I don't
When
care about
Shane
making
wanted to
money.
start the channel.
I don't
Yeah,
care about views. I don't care about any of that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's us. I mean, like at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, I just really enjoy this game. I've played it for a long time. I've been around it for a long time. I've introduced it to a lot of people. I've always found like enjoyment out of it, and I've always found like the people that I've been able to bring into it,
hmm
like at least in like my personal play group, I've gotten, like you said, just really beneficial relationships out of that. Like just some of my best friends.
yeah.
Like, so I was like, man, if I just take this, if I just kind of keep doing this, I just keep meeting more and more people, that circle grows bigger and bigger, and it's just inevitably you're just filled with a bunch of really cool people are in your circle, and you can like bounce ideas with, you can like go to events with, like you get to meet them, you get to stream with them. Like there's just a lot of fun and like a lot of good that can happen with that. So I definitely feel you when you come to like that realization of like, yeah, I'm just a part of this community that's just really really awesome and filled with like really genuine and neat people.
It's also feels super special to be um like the more we do this is the more like we go to public events and everything. It's just like how much more people I get recognized by. It's so crazy. I never thought I'd be
Yeah,
recognized in a con. Like I look like every other person at a Magic event. So it's just like to get noticed by actual name is just so fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, that's
Um
yeah,
wild.
yeah, and like to be able to know like creators like you guys, or like Beth, Queen of
Yeah.
Cardboard, or like
yeah.
Kuro, you know what I mean? Like
hmm
people that I never thought that I'd actually get to play. Gavin Dugan, you know what I mean? Like
hmm
the
Yeah.
co-founder of the Rules Committee. I'd never thought I'd play with him. Joe Johnson, like these are people that like I'd never in a million years thought I'd be able to play Magic with, but like not only have I played Magic with, like developed friendships and like had a beer or drinks with,
hmm
and like
Exactly.
it it just seems absolutely
Yeah.
nuts to me, and like I'm just so grateful to be a part of the community.
Yep. Likewise. It's awesome, man. Um, what's your biggest beside, kind of a compounding question, what's your biggest goal? Do you have like a main goal that you're like wanting for like trying casually to
Yeah.
achieve or anything?
So after Atlanta, talking to all the other creators, just seeing how fucking hard they work, and seeing how hard I don't, and not like disrespectfully, but like it made me feel like if I could do this with like little effort, I wanted to like double down and really put the fucking work in,
hmm
and like see if I
Yeah.
could do more daily drops or do more content or just be more consistent, just be more present, just trying to do more in the community, be active, and really like put the pedal to the metal and see what I can do in 2024 and 2025.
Nice.
Awesome. I like that. That's a good goal. I've always, goals are tough. You can set some that are like super unachievable. You can set some that are like super easy, too easy. But I like the tangibility of saying like, okay, I've got a year. This is that year that I'm gonna try to do anything from like day one to day 365. Like, and I'm gonna see what I accomplished. And like,
Yeah.
the cool thing about like creating content is you actually have that paper trail where you can look back and see what you did over the span of a year and like analytics, and you can measure like the views, all the stuff that you did and like how did it impact the community and what I do. So that's a really cool goal. That's really cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that
Oh, okay.
it's definitely helped. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? I feel like our community's just growing and growing. So many more cool people.
yeah. Honestly, like the game of Magic, like comparatively, like I started in the '90s, like late '90s. Telling my age a little bit, but hardly anyone knew what Magic was. I mean, like you could go to a card shop in like certain like venues and like for sure people would know, but like outside of that, no one knew. But like nowadays, like you have like mega stars coming forward and like playing like Post Malone. He's obviously like the poster child, like
hmm
super famous, super cool dude, huge in the Magic. Like and like honestly, like those tiers have like spread. Like you
hmm
got like Lord of the Rings fans where they've done like Universes Beyond. Like there's so much more of a reach for the game now than there was like I mean, even 10 years ago. So it's really
Yeah.
wild to see like how big and how many people are coming into the game.
Or people buying stuff to not even play with, just to
that's true
have
too.
because they
Just
like that
collectors.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
secret layers especially.
Yeah, Secret Layers, because I mean it's just the art is really neat. Like if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings or
Or a
any of the
specific
Secret Layers they've
artist.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
Man, I really
Yeah,
wish
shout out to Wizard of
Um,
the Barge. Like I'm sure his fans like bought that art just because.
Yeah, probably.
yeah,
I wish I could have
honestly,
gotten
yeah,
one of
I
the
love.
Monty Python Secret Lair. They sold out so fast. Couldn't get one.
Oh yeah, Octavia
Yeah,
got one.
Nice.
those are so cool. Yeah, the art was spot on. The flavor text, the cards they chose, like everything was spot on. They did such a good job.
Yeah, that was good.
Um, yeah. This is a fun question. It cracks me up because I have tons of funny stories. I think everybody does that plays the game. But like, what do your non-Magic friends and family think of the game when you tell them about like Magic or that you're involved with Magic?
So a lot of my friends are gamers, so they
Yeah.
kind of get it.
Mhm.
But the ones
Okay.
who don't do anything, think that I am very involved in something like crazy. I don't think they understand that like I get to go to like events and meet crazy people and like I sign things and like I give away stickers and like I have merch with my face on it and like
Yeah.
shout out to our magic drop that you can get out at Bonfire. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
think they realize that like this is actually like a tangible thing. So it's kind of like your
Yeah.
parents, you know what I mean? But like my mom is like
Yeah.
super supportive,
Yeah,
like
my parents
funnily.
are too. My parents are very
So
chill
like I
about it.
have a
Yeah.
like you know like the diamond things that people are doing, like the big posters, and they'll stick like the different colored diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
So my mom made one with my logo on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, you know what I mean. So it's super supportive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I told this story last interview we did with a girl named Ron, and when I was explaining this to my work friends, because I was at my work and like explaining like, yeah, I'm gonna start a a YouTube channel up. Like I really love this game, and like okay, and like and I always I'm sure like you everyone refers to it as Magic, right? Like hardly ever do I say I play Magic the Gathering. I play Magic, and they just hear that word and they think legit that I'm learning how to like
Yeah, you're
become a
doing sleight
magician.
of hand.
Yeah, I'm like I can pull
Dude,
rabbits from hats.
double down, bro. Actually learn magic, but also learn to
Should.
play magic.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
should.
there you
Like,
go.
like, oh, what's my turn here?
You gonna pull like a coin?
Yeah, from somebody's
Yeah,
ear. Oh, that's funny.
You,
yeah,
you hit him with one
it
of
cracks
these.
me up though. Yeah,
I've told Shane.
Oh,
So,
man.
so
yeah.
I was in a band for a long time, and we toured nationally and some internationally. We never got big. It was a metal band, but it was like people recognized us. They knew like the words to our songs. Like they had our merch. Like it's so and like we had a YouTube channel and we did. So I've told Shane like for me it's really similar to that. As funny as that might sound, but like you're making these videos and making this content, which is similar to like making music and posting the music and having music videos and things. And like you go to these cons and things, and like people want to, sometimes want to buy your, so it's very similar to that. So like for me, it like lets me like sort of relive that a little bit, even 10 years after that. I've not been playing music anymore, but it's very, like you said, it's very surreal sometimes, very similar to that. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. Um, this is an exciting question too. What universe beyond would you like to see in the future?
Oh, it's already gonna happen, man. Marvel.
Yeah,
It's already
so
it's happening. So literally in like right before Vegas, I'm gonna start my thing, and obviously I would love for you guys to help. So I'm going to be posting every single fucking day at Wizards that I want a Marvel preview card.
Nice.
Hey,
Spider-Man is
yeah,
literally my favorite thing.
okay,
Literally 95% of everything on this shelf is Spider-Man. I have a Spider-Man
nice.
tattoo. I named my son Parker for Peter
Oh,
Parker.
that's funny.
Okay, so yeah, let's get this man.
Yeah,
All right, everybody,
we'll retweet it.
you've
We'll
heard
retweet it every day.
retweet it. Absolutely. We'll
Yo,
get this man a
yeah,
preview
it
card
is
for
my
sure.
goal
Let's
to
get
get a
him
Marvel
Spider-Man
preview
too.
card, but like also Cop Cop. Cop Cop also deserves a preview card
Okay.
because like he dresses up like Spider-Man at all the
That's
cons.
true.
Like
Yeah.
he
That's
also
true.
does work.
Yeah.
So like in all due respect, I don't even care if I get Spider-Man. I just want a preview
Just
card.
Well, you know there's going to be multiple.
Yeah,
there's
I'll
gonna
take
be
Miles
there's gonna be-
Morales.
yeah, there's
bro.
gonna be like
Spider-Punk.
6. Yeah,
Give me
sure.
any of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's gonna be a ton of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I am excited. You know, it's funny. Like I grew up a massive DC fan. Like the Flash was it still is my favorite superhero. I'll still stand by that now. But like, so I wasn't anti Marvel, but I just didn't I wasn't invested in Marvel. But then they just did such a good job with the cinematic universe that like I don't see how you couldn't be a fan now. Like they crushed it. Like that's like the
Yeah, you at
template
least
for now
know
until
about
the
the
rest.
zeitgeist.
Yeah, like I know
How can you
everything about
not?
Marvel now. Like I like went back and had to reread comics. Like I was like, I mean, I love these characters now, and I still love DC. Don't get me wrong, I still love the Flash, but like that was just a disaster what they try to do with the movies.
Yeah,
Now
it
the
just didn't.
comics and
It
like the
just paled in
cartoons still
comparison.
are great, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
you can't beat a DC cartoon.
The DC cartoon movies are like if you haven't watched any of that series,
Hands
like
down.
just start somewhere. Yeah, they're so good. Yeah.
Phantom Mask going back to the 90s.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, yeah, like the Kevin
They've never
Conroy.
not been good.
Yeah, absolutely. They've always been solid.
Well,
They should just take
like,
those and just turn them live action. Like, yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I don't know.
The writing would be
I don't
better.
know about that. I don't. Oh, you're just like directly adapt it. I can
Yes.
see
I mean, yeah,
Alright.
don't change a thing. Like, just yeah,
Scripts and all, just movie.
yeah.
that. I also like the new Batman actor who is not new, but he's the dude from Supernatural, Dean.
Oh, okay.
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, Jensen.
Yeah,
Ackles.
he's done a bunch
Jansen.
of Batman stuff now.
Jansen
Okay.
Ackles.
Ackles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
him as
he-
Batman.
He is a good Batman.
He's from
yeah.
Supernatural. He's also in The Boys. He's Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, you're right. That is happening. That's going to be that'll be the biggest set that I think Magic will ever release, but just because of how many
It's so
people that's
big.
going to bring into the game.
Well, and
So,
it's still super relevant. Like, not that Lord of the Rings isn't super relevant, but like, had Magic done a Universes Beyond in the early 2000s, like that's essentially what's happening with Marvel. Is like Marvel's still very relevant, still producing movies. Like, it's not maybe as big. Like, obviously they've pissed some people off since Endgame, but like it's still extremely big. The IP is still extremely popular. Like this will be, like the biggest probably Universes Beyond. they'll ever do.
Non-Magic players are going to buy those.
Yes, 100%.
Oh yeah,
There'll be a
absolutely.
crazy influx of new players.
Yes. Yep. What is your what is your dream pod? You've got you and 3 other players. Like who are you sitting down to play with? And this could be anybody, whether they're like in the Magic community or just like in general. Like you could just bring in like celebrities.
Okay, not to be sappy, can they have passed away?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah,
I mean,
it could be anybody.
these can even like you can even pull in fictional characters if you want. Like if you want to play with Spider-Man,
Like literally,
bring in
the
Peter Parker.
world's your oyster.
Not to be sappy, and like not to be like really cheesy, but Sheldon. To be fair, Sheldon would 100% be my dream pod. So like,
Okay.
not to be super sappy, like I used to talk to him on Twitter before. Like he was scheduled to be on our show several times, like, and he had to reschedule because of chemo. So I never actually got to ever play with him. I think, not to be sappy, he would 100% be in my pod.
Not sappy at all. It's a great choice. I mean, like, dude had like a direct
not
hand
to
in
like
shaping,
bring bad vibes, but yeah.
No,
it's not a bad. That's an honorable. That's an honorable vibe, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, and then Post Malone.
Posty. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably the Professor would probably be my dream pod.
That'd be a fun pod, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually got to play a game with Prof. And it was at an SCG con in Charlotte 2 years ago, and he is 100% the exact same person you see on his shows and his record. Like he's just a very genuine dude. Like I thought maybe it was like a character, like a persona that he was like acting as, this person, but like you sit down with him, like he's very like just friendly, Like he has that that
Quirk.
goofiness, but like
Yeah.
it's very inviting goofiness. You know,
Yeah.
like the quirkiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like dude is just
He's
fantastic.
an
And
actual
like
cartoon character.
he is, yeah. He's just and he was a blast to play with. He was very fun and fair. Like he, we sat down. It's funny without stealing the interview here. We sat down and he was like, "Oh, I'm excited to play with y'all, unless you're playing stacks, because someone just played stacks with me and they lied and said it wasn't a stacks deck, and I hate stacks." You know, like just full on character. I was like, "Bro, I love this guy." Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like he definitely lives with the thing to play to be invited back.
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely, yeah, yeah. And Sheldon was there at the con too. I did not get a game with him, and I regret that to this day. But like he was just, he couldn't like stand up without getting pulled into another pod because everybody just
Oh
wanted to play
God,
with him.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, dude's just a legend, forever.
Yeah, he has like a mosh pit going around him at all times.
Luckily,
Legit,
we
yeah,
got
like in
there at
between
like
each.
like right when it opened on a Friday, so it was not very busy, and we just happened to walk in
Yeah,
the command zone area right, and like the people had just gotten up from Prof's table, so just like the timing was perfect for that.
yeah,
We just walked in there. He was like, "We need a couple over here."
yeah, yeah. I was
Heck
like, well,
yeah.
that's the professor asking if
Oh
he wants
snap!
people to play. Sure, I'll play.
Yes,
I'll
definitely.
volunteer. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
thank you. I'm good.
Personally, I
yeah.
would pass.
Many Magic the Gathering players pass.
I rate this pod a C-.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just not my vibe. All right, last question, and again, thank you, JM, for hopping on with us and doing this interview. But what is the one thing you want people to know about Magic or what you're doing within the community?
Not necessarily what I'm doing. So I just try to surround myself around really cool people, man. I've
Yeah,
thoroughly believed that like if you hang around really good people, everything kind of works itself out. Because it's kind of like a rising ship or rising waters lifts all ships kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Rising tide.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
You're
for
smarter than me,
sure.
Dan.
It's
Right.
cool. No, I'm not.
All the Daniels are better than me.
I've just heard.
You know what I
I've
mean?
just-
Yeah.
just
I
heard
got
it before.
Daniel from my co-host from the Rule Zero. You know what I mean? He's another much better Daniel. Not than you, but like
He probably is. It's cool.
of me.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, again, everyone, Linktree/information will be on the description of this video. Please go check out JM Trying Casually. They shout out to them. They were one of the first when Daniel and I first got started and wanted to start streaming. They were one of the first to just invite us onto the channel. We had literally maybe had like a handful of Twitter followers, had never played on anybody's stream. So I'll never forget that. Just an awesome person, awesome group of people. So please give them a like, subscribe, follow, all the buttons, please. It's free, and it helps everybody out. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye.